It's broke. It's a cabasa. I've had this thing since I was in my R&B, funk, Latin instrumental band back since like 95. I still have it, but it's broke. Oh well. Anyways, quick tutorial here. And it'll be quick, trust me. It's hot in here. My air's not working right. I'm gonna get that fixed. Custom music transcription. It's a paid service that I offer. For those of you that know, you know that obviously we got all the free YouTube stuff that will always keep coming. Approaching 2,000 free lessons here on the channel, youtube.com/rockinguitarlessons1. I do just a quick little brief history. I've been full-time music teacher, primarily guitar, but I do teach bass and drums. Since I was a young pup. Started in '92, teaching in music stores. Been playing since '82, and man, I'm old. No doubt about it. Do the math. It's 2015. Woo! But anyways, taught through all out Southern California. Seen stores open, seen them close, seen them reopen, seen new ones open. And then, funny thing happened. You know, I started my YouTube channel. I guess about 3 years ago now. Had the free content, and I ended up naturally getting people asking about taking private lessons on Skype, which wasn't the plan. Wasn't going to do that. I was teaching out of 3 stores. Didn't have the time and hadn't used a webcam, just stupid reasons really. Long story short, it transitioned. You know, things don't always go as we may have planned, you know, and I'm very thankful for it. I no longer teach at a music store. I haven't taught in a music store in well over a year. Well, yeah, about a year. One by one I had to kind of let them go because I was teaching private students on Skype, which didn't limit me to the city that I was in, or driving to the next city when I used to make my hour drive at one point 5 times a week. Transitioning, I got so many students on Skype, I had to make a decision to let my students go. Several of them continued on with me on Skype, but I was getting hit up by via the internet with people wanting lessons. And the cool thing was, it dawned on me, wow, I can really make this transition and not be limited to a city. I teach not in just my city, not just in California, not just in the United States, but around the world. And that's one of the huge blessings that have come my way since opening my channel. And then I also, on top of teaching students on Skype, in the past, actually pretty early on, I was doing it for one student that gave me this idea that I call CVT lessons, custom video tablature lessons. And because he was in Japan, couldn't do the one-on-one thing on Skype. I forget the reason why. I don't know if he was on a base or something. But anyways, so I was doing these, he was just paying me to do these lessons on video camera and record them and write out the tabs. And I was doing that for a while, and then I started getting hit up by a few more people. Hey Mike, so then I thought, you know what, why don't I just advertise this service? And those took off. So I've got a lot of CVT students that were like, dude, thank you, I'm not able to do the lessons on Skype. I have a real busy schedule with my job. I'm on the road a lot, lots of different reasons, but bottom line is it was right up their alley what they needed. So they would hit me up, and they do hit me up. And most of them are like repeat customers with my CVT students. And what I do is I handwrite the tabs, timestamp, subgroup everything. Everything's notated. They're handwritten, like I said, so all the techniques that are involved in that lesson from the song that you're having me do are right on page 1 of your tabs. So everything's explained. They're sectioned off, scanned, and sent to your email. Now, let me stop for a second. That is a CT lesson, which in the past 2 months I just started advertising for that because I was doing those too, but not advertising. I figured I may as well put this out there. So CT just means custom tablature. which you let me know what song it is you want done. I do my research, and by research I'll go to the actual studio recording of the song. I'll go to live stuff if needed, but but sometimes bands will change tunings when they're touring and drop it down, so I got to take those things into consideration. But I do that to look for hand placement if needed, because I'm a stickler about it, man. I want to teach you guys the songs the way they were recorded, and basically teach you the right way, is what I'm getting at, down to the way the slide is and where they start the slide. Some people like, dude, that's overkill. I don't care, because my peeps like it, man. So and that's how I would do it. If it was a diary of all my stuff, or a library I should say, that's how I would do it anyways. You know, it's just it. That's, you want to learn something, there's a reason. You like how it sounds and like how it's played. Sure, you can play things different ways. Some of my CVT students actually want me to simplify it. Not a lot of times, but sometimes they're not at that level to play it. So, hey Mike, can you do it? Yes. They're custom, so that's what the word custom stands for. You tell me is what it comes down to. So that is a CT lesson. My hourly rate that I charge, and this is all around the board as of 2015 heading into June, is $59 per hour. I do require a minimum deposit for these. Sometimes I'll quote an outright price if that's what my student wants for the song. Typically I give you a guesstimation of about what it'll cost. The typical CVT lesson, oh by the way, I didn't finish, so the CT lesson I explained. A CVT lesson is exactly the same thing, but you get the video section of it too, because a lot of people like to have the visual. I'm like that. I'm a visual learner, but I like both. I like to see hand placement and check out the way it's being picked, but I've got my ear, you know, that I use too, and you know, that with my memory and all that. But that's what you and then the tabs, you utilize that, you match it up with the video. I timestamp everything for that reason. So say you're in this guitar solo and you're like, man, where is that in the tabs? You know, it may be 2 pages of guitar solo. You can zone in on it because I have them subgrouped and timestamped, you know, from 233 to 240. Here it is. It's that riff, so it's really, really detailed. So the CVT lesson comes with the video. Usually, most of the time, it's a couple videos. They're about 20 minutes to 21 minutes per video. That's just how it works. I don't know why I can't do 30-minute ones or 40. Maybe when I get my next camera, I'll be able to do that. I don't know, but they wind up usually being multiple videos. Upload that to my channel. So you got the audio, the visual, you know, you got the tabs to follow. So CVT lessons are custom video tablature lessons. CT lessons are custom tablature lessons. And I have a minimum deductible deposit for each. So for the CVT lessons, the minimum deposit is $75 or $80. That comes off your total. For the CT lessons, I think it's $30. I just changed it. I'd have to look on my schedule. And that is deducted at the end, unless you're just paying an outright price up front, which is fine too. And those are made to my PayPal account. That's how all payments are filtered. So all you need is a debit card, my PayPal email, which is tvxpunk@aol.com. And you can use my cell number too. If you're a CVT student or CT student or a private lesson or a student of mine on Skype, you guys all have my phone number, and that's kind of a thing that I require too. Especially, man, I'm on these CVTs and CT lessons, and I got it done. I've had a busy 2 weeks with CVT and CT lessons, a bunch of them coming in. I was like, oh man, I need to get my schedule updated and keep these in order. But I also, you know, I may have your lesson done and I've emailed you, and if you're not one of those people that check your email, but once or twice a week, it may be sitting there. So your cell number, I can text you, say, hey man, it's done. I can give you a day-to-day progress on where I'm at with it. The average CVT lesson ranges from about $200 to $275. That's on average, okay? It fluctuates. It's usually within there. The average CT lesson kind of depends, because sometimes people just have me do like the chorus and maybe a section of the verse or just the solo or something, but probably around $75 to to 100. You can kind of almost cut it in half from a CBT lesson. But that gives you an idea, and that's what this tutorial is about. Hey, this was supposed to be short, wasn't it? So I'm going to wrap it up. So it's a paid service I offer. You let me know what song it is, send it to me, send me the link so I make sure I got the right one, and I will get to work on it, put you on my schedule. My email, rockinguitarlessons@hotmail.com and mike@rockinguitarlessons.com. Tag me on both those. Give me as much information as you can up front, and I'll contact you back, give you my cell number, and we'll get you set up for your CBT lesson or your CT lesson.